The FTC just banned non-compete agreements. The FTC is the Federal Trade Commission, which is responsible for all things antitrust and consumer protections. These guys just made a big change that is going to affect a lot of industries, according to them. And I think we're starting to see the effects of that happening now. And I want you guys to join me on this thought process to see, does this hold any merit? Because I'm starting to see a pattern. And more than one thing can exist and be true at the same time. It's not just that the FTC has banned non-competes. It could also be that maybe a company isn't as good as we think it is. Who knows? But go down this rabbit hole with me for just a second. The government is saying that this rule will generate over 8,500 new businesses each year, raise worker wages, lower healthcare costs, and boost innovation. It is projected that about 18% of US workers, that is about 30 million people, will be affected by this new banning. And I think we're starting to see some of those people in live time, whether we are aware of it or not. It also just so happens that within the last 2 weeks, Tesla has lost 3 of their senior executives that just happen to want to spend more time with their families. That's a lot of family time. This is also coming at an interesting time when Tesla just did a massive layoff at the same time. So these executives leaving, there is a connection here. One of them is in charge of investor relations. Another one was in charge of overseeing technology development with the car's batteries. And the last one, as of now, was the vice president of public policy. This just opened up a vacuum, and there is going to be massive changes now happening to Tesla. But what's even more interesting than that is that this all happened within this 2-week window, right as we are now learning about this new non-compete as well. Something that is known around these big tech companies specifically is how ruthless they can be within business. We get the happy face out there, good morning, and all that, but behind the scenes, you don't get to become one of the most valuable companies in the world and not have a ruthless bone in your body. Oh no. And to add insult to injury, not only did one of them just quit, but they also sold $181 million worth of stock. If that's not a big middle finger to your face about how you're running the company, then I don't really know what is. Okay. And we have seen already before in this EV space, people leaving Tesla to go to other startups like Rivian. And now that this whole non-compete thing is going away, how much are we certain that these senior executives who hold a lot of power behind them won't just go and lend their talents to another company? Now, I'm not saying specifically Rivian, but by this new banning of non-competes, really anything is up for grabs now. How much confidence internally do the people at Tesla actually have with Tesla under Elon Musk when we're seeing more and more people leaving with the layoffs? And now I'm starting to get the vibe of this struggle that's so much more intricate, but they're gonna keep face because everybody's walking away. I just want to spend time with family is what we keep hearing. And it's the cleanest way to not have any bad blood and just walk away, and what's done is done, and go do something new. I mean, that's what I would have done. So I bring my case to you about this because I don't think it's just stopping with these executives at Tesla, and I don't think it's just happening to Tesla by any means. I think now that this whole non-compete thing is going away, I think we're going to see some more shakeups happening. Not of the same of what happened with OpenAI and how the CEO got ousted and he came right back. Not maybe that dramatic, but I do think that we are going to see some high-level people and even intermediate-level people move around between these companies a little bit more freely, which seems to be the theme of what's happening in tech, because Apple keeps getting lawsuit after lawsuit about being too closed off, and it wasn't enough to change the Lightning port to a USB-C port, which I agree with. But then now they have to open up their app store, and now we have like emulators for gaming on our phones. How lucky are we? Now that we're really, really blurring the lines when it comes to, well, I'm just talking about Apple there, But how much different is it going to be now that we're going to blur the lines maybe with even leadership? And if it's not like the head honchos, I think there are some provisions in this new FTC filing here that does keep the most senior executives from just working at another company. That's too much power. But there is a cutoff from what I was seeing. There's a cutoff there. And if you've ever worked for a company ever, you know that the blood and the oil and the soul of the machine isn't those executives. It's the little people, the us at the bottom who drive these businesses forward. Now, really anyone can take their talents anywhere. And this lifting of the non-compete is also going to be retroactive, which means anybody who's ever been in a non-compete doesn't have to abide by that anymore. It's just interesting that I'm seeing such a big shakeup with the leadership at Tesla at this exact time. I would like to see them go to Rivian, I think, personally, but that's because I like them. Who knows, maybe Apple will start Project Titan again and get their vehicle going and be able to offer a better package. But the FTC is saying that they want to start new jobs and new companies out of this, not just keep trading at the top level with the already established ones. But who's to say? And what do you say? What do you think? What do you think is going to come from really all of this going forward? And are you affected by a non-compete? I may have been. So that's interesting. Let me know what you guys think.